Hi, my name is Brent Williams with Multifamily Insiders, and today I'm going to talk about creating an experience for your apartment communities. I'm reading a book right now called Onward by Howard Schultz, who is the CEO of Starbucks, and he talks a lot about two different aspects to his business. One, which is the product, which is how to pull the perfect shot of espresso, or what's the proper technique to steaming milk for lattes, and also the experience side of going to Starbucks, which is maybe the smell or the social aspect. So there's two different aspects, and I want to talk to you about creating that experience for apartment communities. And I think the best way to uh, understand the experience in housing is actually look at dorms, because the product itself for a lot of dorms isn't necessarily the best, because you are living in a very small, one room a lot of times with a roommate that you may or may not know, sharing a bathroom with people you probably don't know. So you have some really weird things with the product, but the experience is amazing. A lot of people, when they look back, they remember their dorm years. They remember who they became friends with at their dorm, and they're still friends with them now a lot of times. And why is that? Well, a lot of times it's because they're surrounded by people that are somehow similar to them. They have similar interests. They're at similar points in their life. So these commonalities allow them to connect with each other and form a lot stronger emotional connections with each other and their environment. So even though you have a pretty weak product in a lot of ways, not all dorms, but a lot of dorms, you have an amazing experience to go along with it. So it's a really interesting way to see how experience can be significantly set apart from the product itself. So let's talk about what we're doing currently with apartment communities. What are the experiences that a lot of communities are trying to convey to their residents? Well, they have luxury, strong maintenance, good customer service, maybe. Let's talk about maintenance first. Is maintenance really an experience? Well, maybe if you go above and beyond, something that's so amazing as far as experience that it really uh, leaves something to me to remember the community by. That might be an experience. But a lot of times, maintenance is really just fulfilling a promise on the product. When I move into a community, I want to hopefully know that the walls aren't going to cave in on me. So it's the product, and the maintenance makes sure that the product is as what I expect it to be. In a lot of ways, customer service is the same thing. I want to have that particular product in a way that they promise me, and so customer service helps makes that happen. Now, like I said, it's not purely just the product. Customer service will probably go into the experience level as well, but a lot of times we're talking about mainly the product side. So let's talk about the luxury concept. Is that really an experience? Well, think about your shimmering pool or your state-of-the-art gym. Those aren't experiences. They're just things. They're just amenities. They're not going to provide me with some sort of emotionally charged memory down the, years down the road. Let me give you an example. Think about the house that you grew up in. And let's say it's on the market now. So somebody's coming into the house and they're looking to buy it. And let's say it's pretty nice. And so they walk in and they go, wow, look at the crown molding, or, vaulted ceilings, or fans in every room. This is pretty nice. We like that. Now think about your reaction if you were to go into the house you grew up in. You're not going to be thinking about the crown molding. You're not going to be thinking about the fans in every room. You're going to be thinking about all the memories that you had there, all the times that, you played video games with your siblings, or were downstairs hanging out, watching movies with your parents, or maybe in the pool outside playing there. So you're thinking about all the emotional memories that go along with your home. And that's fundamentally the difference between product and experience. And that experience creates that emotional attachment to your home. And it also ties in the other people that are there. Okay, we'll get to that in a little bit. So how can we create an experience at our apartment community? Well, first of all, it needs to be pervasive throughout the entire community. It can't just be a marketing gimmick. All right. Imagine if you were to watch a trailer for a movie and it looked amazing. It was exactly what you're looking for. Maybe it was a love story and that's really what you're going for. And you went to the movie and it's a action flick, you know? Maybe other times you love an action flick, but you were expecting a love story. Okay. Well, the movie didn't live up to your expectations. So what are you going to think about that movie? Well, it's probably not very good, right? Because you were expecting one thing and it didn't deliver. Same thing with your experience at your community. It has to deliver on the marketing message that you put out there. It has to encompass every single element of your operations. Okay. The second thing you need to do is think about how it can be tied to a lifestyle or a feeling of some sort. Think about the words comfortable and vibrant. Those two words can be really good ways to describe a good living experience, right? So comfortable, when you think about comfortable, like when you imagine like an image along with it, it could be really cozy. Maybe it's nice warm lighting. Maybe the fire's on, so it has like the lights flickering on the wall behind you, and it's really nice and cozy. Maybe you have a few friends sipping wine. It's just really nice and comfortable. Now think about the word vibrant. You're thinking about maybe really high vaulted ceilings and lots of people in there, and it's a big party and it's a very social atmosphere. And both those can be good, but they're exclusive, right? Because somebody who really loves the vibrant experience, if they're in a comfortable experience, there's a good chance they're going to be bored to death. Or vice versa, somebody who really loves that comfortable, cozy environment, they're going to hate the noise, or they're going to want to just be left alone to a certain extent compared to the vibrant experience. So think about how those feelings can play into your experience, okay? We can also talk about lifestyles. For example, fitness. Fitness is a fantastic concept with experience because it involves so much of their lifestyle. You may be working out every day, or you're in intramural sports, or maybe you're doing 5K runs. All these things can be woven into the experience. And like I said earlier, it's not just the community's experience, but how that pulls in other people into that same experience, right? So if you live in a community because it really has that fitness experience, then it's going to pull in other people with that same experience, which means that you're going to be closer to people that have similar interests as you are. So you're going to have more opportunities and more interest in connecting with these people. So the experience isn't something that your community just shoves on the residents. It's something that everybody has a hand in maintaining and creating. Okay, what are some other options? Sports. Armchair quarterbacks. So they're not necessarily going to work out, but they love watching football, baseball, you name it. Some other options are socialites, book lovers, car people would be a good one. Pet lovers. Pet lovers is fantastic. People get so wrapped up into their pets and that concept, it becomes a lifestyle. And in that concept, it can't just be we're pet friendly or we allow large dogs. It has to be a full experience that is woven into your entire operations. So one last thing I want to focus on is that creating an experience is not meant to be enjoyed by everyone. If you try to say, I want an experience where 100% of the people who walk in the door love it, you are ultimately creating a watered down experience because it doesn't exist. Okay? Aren't you tired of creating one size fits all properties where it's meant to appeal to everybody? Of course, we have to keep within fair housing laws, but we can do things that appeal specifically to different interest groups and people that love certain lifestyles that still is fair housing friendly, but really get into people's touches them as far as their emotional connections to the community. So instead of trying to appeal to 100% of the people, where 100% of the people have a mediocre response to your community, try thinking about ways that you can narrow your focus. That instead of 100% of people, you have 30% of people, but those 30% of people love you. They absolutely adore your community. They would be upset if they had to move. those people are going to pay higher rents. Those people are going to move much less often, and they're going to invite their friends. And like I said before, the people who invite their friends, well, their friends are most likely going to have similar interests. So you're going to get more people that have those same interests and have even a stronger bond between your residents. So look to create experiences that create fans, that create people that love your community, rather than people who are just blah on your community.